A temperature of 93 degrees right now at the University of North Texas at Denton. The heat index right at 100, so definitely put away the hoodies. We're seeing a lot of blue sky overhead. A heat advisory is in place through this evening. That's why we have our WFA weather alert day in place through this evening. It's for heat index values up to 109. This includes most of North Texas, and it does include DFW. I don't think we'll see this extended into the weekend just because I do think that the heat index is going to back off a tad for some counties. Temperatures today. Upper 90s for a big portion of the area. I do think that we'll see a few hundreds on our charts this afternoon. And I'm looking more at Denton, Fort Worth, Decatur at 101, Mineral Wells at 101, Dallas right around 99. Now, we could see 100 degrees in Dallas if we see a slight wind shift out of the southwest versus the southeast. And that's because it'll bring in slightly drier air that tends to warm up a little bit faster. So it's a wait and see kind of game this afternoon, but we'll be hovering right around that century mark. 97 degrees in McKinney, mid 90s for our eastern counties. That's where the humidity is highest. That's where the heat index will still be over 105. So the weekend, 98 degrees on Saturday, 97 degrees on Sunday. Winds still out of the south, up to 15 miles per hour. It's not going to be as hot on Sunday as today, as tomorrow. And it's because of where that ridge of high pressure is, and I'll show you that. But even into early parts of next week, we see these numbers kind of dropping down a tad. 96 on Monday, 94 on Tuesday. The heat index is still going to be quite elevated. Normal for this time of the year is 97. We'll be within 2 to 3 degrees of that over the next 5 days. That's pretty good for August standards when we're generally seeing a stretch of triple-digit heat days by now. So the heat index highest today. That's why the heat alert is in place today. It'll be about 107 to 108. On Saturday, it'll be about 107. Now, we could see that heat advisory get extended into Saturday if more locations look like they'll see a heat index above 105. So over the weekend or late weekend, we're looking at 102 for the feels like 102 on Monday, 103 on Tuesday. And I mentioned this in the last half hour, but it's not just North Texas under the heat alerts. This extends all the way to the north across areas of the Midwest, even portions of Illinois seeing that. We're also looking at areas of Iowa, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma under heat alerts. And we're seeing also extreme heat warnings for areas like southern Arizona. And it's because that's where the heat dome is centered. So right underneath the center of the heat dome is where we generally find our hottest temperatures. But if you notice this dark color here, this is reaching, the influence of that high is reaching all the way into the Midwest. That's why we have heat alerts for several states. What happens the next 2 days, we see this push more towards the west. So it kind of loosens its grip on North Texas's weather. That's why temperatures are going to drop a couple degrees. It's not going to be a huge difference, but this is something that I watch here this time of the year. So eventually we see that area of high pressure move a bit more to the west. That's what kind of gives us a small opportunity for afternoon showers and thunderstorms early parts of next week. We've got two areas of interest in the tropics, one at a 10%, the other one at about a 50% chance of development. The next name on the list is Aaron. We'll keep you, of course, posted on that. No impacts to North Texas. High temperatures generally staying in the 90s through next week. There's that look at 10% coverage come Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. But overall, staying hot and mostly rain-free. Tiff.
Thanks, Marielle. Now